Hey everyone, Scorn of Amon, the latest trial. It's a tricky one. So, let me first explain what the boss does, because in the video you're about to see, I'm not really doing a great job at explaining what the boss really does. So, you may first wonder, why is Ash on this team? We'll get to that. So the boss has a couple of gimmicks. Gimmick number one is the boss preemptively strikes and zombifies the whole team. That way, you cannot heal at all. Secondly, the boss will every single turn cast 3 magic abilities. Most of them are healing. Some of them are re-raise or full heal, meaning your team would slowly or immediately die upon it. He uses Curager or Curaga, which is a percentage heal, so your team technically could survive a few Curagers, but the moment the boss uses full re-raise or full heal, the unit is dead. Secondly, on the preemptive strike, the boss also applies regeneration to your passive provoker. There's two thresholds you need to keep in mind. It is 75%, technically free, but let's only talk about two really. It's 75% where the boss will use death on one of the units, mainly either Ash or Venera. And on the 50% threshold is where the fight starts getting a little bit hard. So on the 50% threshold, the boss will do his regular turns. He will then mid-turn dispel the team and cast Meteor on us. Now, if you're using a magical tank, the magical tank will still take care of the Meteor attack. But you have to still keep in mind the dispel for the imbues, your buffs, etc. And the Meteor will come every single turn from there on out. So the boss will use 3 magic attacks. He will use the elemental attack he's always using. It's either a fire single target attack, it's a AoE wind, AoE water, or AoE earth attack. So you need resistances to these 4 elements at 200% at best. And the last gimmick is that once you push another threshold, I'm not quite sure whether it's 33 or 25, but 25 would make the most sense here, is where the boss starts also casting Ultima. So the chain of orders is 3 magic attacks that you need to nephesite or deal with some other way. It is then the elemental attack, and then it's Meteor and Ultima. Now, if you're using a tank, absolutely no trouble. But we are using no tank, as you can see, so we need to somehow skip a few phases. But let's check out the team first. So, dethroned heroine Ash. Ash is once again breaking the game, as you can see. I love her sprite, by the way. It's super cool, and her art is super cute too, to be honest. So yeah, this is Ash. Now, I did not bother gearing for fire because only Venera is taking the fire damage. And the gimmick of Ash is that she completely nullifies the magic attacks. It's via Dusk Shard. Dusk Shard nullifies some magic cast by an enemy or ally for 3 turns. This is exactly 3 stacks of Nephesite in 1 unit. And please keep in mind, Nephesite works the same way Mirage works. So if you're using an outside source of Nephesite, please make sure to always cast Dusk Shard last, because the higher or the latest one overrides the other one. It's not the highest one that counts. It's overwritten by the latest one you cast. I would advise only use Ash if you have her. She's too good for this fight. She completely negates this. Secondly, as you can see, Dusk Shard is super expensive for your mana at 529. So the way I geared her is 3 stars. It is a reduce MP consumed by all abilities by 50%. Now, my Ash has a little bit more than that. She is at 60% MP cost reduction, 80% is the maximum. But 60% already makes this trivial, and as you can see, I geared her for a lot of spirit. She's got the Genji shield for the death immunity. Every unit also needs petrification immunity, because the boss also at one of the 2 main thresholds petrifies the team, so you need that as well. And other than that, a lot of MP fill as well. So here you can see she's got a lot of MP fill and the necessary resistances, mainly water, wind, and earth. All right, next up, Venera. Venera, both forms are identical, so the gearing is the same. I had her geared for a Zidane clear, as you can see, but Zidane's STMR is still broken, which is stupid, but I complained enough about it on my poll video. So yeah, she's using Onion Sword for additional element resistances. And funnily enough, Onion Sword is perfect for this fight. It's exactly the 4 elements you want. I don't know, this is as good as it gets, right? She's got safety bits, she's passive provoking, she's got 40 towards fire, but again, she doesn't care about fire. And yeah, that's all there is. Oops, I did this wrong. And I multiple times did I this wrong, so this is the correct Esper she's using. All right, and yeah, this is the gear. Let's move on over to the Elrics. Oh wait, I missed something over here. Let me just quickly reload the real team, because that is the correct gearing on here. All right, so Venera. Again, this is the proper gearing. She's starting in her Brave Shift where she's wearing Auto Shell. Auto Shell boost SPR by 100%. That is kind of important. I should have gotten this for the Elric brothers too, probably, but I was too lazy to craft it once more. And the base form, she's got Midsummer Boda for an additional 50% water resistance and guts. I don't need guts, as you can see. She has a lot of HP. She's got 120 fire, 100 earth, 120 water, and almost 100 wind as well. So these are the abilities. And whatever vision card. Next up are the Elric brothers. Now, the Elric brothers on my actual clear, this is not correct. I did not save the last changes I made. So the last changes I made were these. I used the bracers because I used that one. Exactly. So this is the gear I used on, no, that's not it still. That one and that one plus, where is it? Strength's Crest. So this is the gear I was actually using. As you can see, super high spirit, super high defense, a lot of HP, and you will see the reason why I did this, because I have to make one super risky play on turn 4, that is, you will see that, or turn 5, I'm not quite sure anymore, but yeah, you will see what I mean by that. And that Wisdom of Hess, the necessary resistances, and the shift form is geared towards a little bit of damage. But what's important is Rage Beast's Roar, because we need to dispel Venera on the first turn. And yeah, he's using Snow's Vision card. And funnily enough, we gain all the bonuses here, which makes this a little bit handy. All right. And next up is Arden. He's using a lot of auto buffs in this gear, so spell daggers for a fire amplification. He's also using Tempest Rod for a wind amplification. I didn't need wind amplification because the fight ends before you need wind. So yeah, on my actual clear, I was prepared to go to turn 8. So I actually had the Craftsman's Secret book on this, but this is better. Knowing that it's actually able to go for 6 turns, Windrace earrings are better. You also need the amulet, and these are the abilities. You need equip heavy armor, outer shell, outer bravery, exceptional ingenuity. So he's got pretty good resistances, and as you will see throughout the fight, I am going to complain about wind attacks because my team is the weakest wind. And he's using Noctis's vision card. Brave Shift is where all the damage is coming from. Don't mind this. He actually had this STMR equipped on the actual fight. So this is the gear. These are the abilities. And yeah, the vision card. Alright, I hope I made everything clear. I am using Traps Arden, who's super strong for this, but I overkilled this boss by a lot, as you will see. So yeah. Alright, enjoy the fight. Alright, so after pulling on Vivi, because I didn't have D-Monies or Traps Arden on my friends list, here he is again. Perfect gearing. And I really should be able to do this with him. So I don't know what went wrong the last time I tried this, but this time around, it'll work. Let me make one thing sure once more. Okay, so all good. Let's do this. Okay, so we're getting zombified and regened on Vinera. Now, I haven't tried actually whether not... You know what? Since I have Traps Arden up right now, I will just... Well, it doesn't matter anyway. Or does it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So let's just dispel Vinera right away. And Marauder's Blade, Armor Cleave, Heavenly. Maybe I should have geared Vinera for more MP fill. Oh well. My Arden is going to Sword Imperiled, and Traps Arden is going to Phantasm for 300% attack boost, unlocks, yada yada yada. And Ash is going to Dusk Shard. Alright, with Dusk Shard, the boss's attacks, it's 3 magic attacks that are completely nullified. It's obviously Tornado. So Tornado, for me personally, is the least welcome outcome, because my units are mostly weak to Wind, and Traps Arden is as well, as you can see. So Wind is the only bad element the boss can deal against us, and he did. But we'll handle it with care, I guess. Let's do some stuff, imbue with fire, etc. Let's guard Vinera, we don't need her damage. Let's just reload Ash. And let's shift my Arden and jump. Alright. There we go. And if we are super lucky, I will not push 2 thresholds at once. That'd be the best case. Oh, water is perfect. We are completely resisting water on our whole team, pretty much. Okay. So let's see. If we don't push the 50% threshold, 75 and 50 are the 2 that you have to keep in mind. We might actually defeat the boss on turn 6. And that'd be the best outcome. Alright, so breaks are still up, that's good. Let's then use triple poison sting. I don't want to waste too much mana on Vinera, so let's go. Hopefully this works out on chaining. It does. We pushed both thresholds. This is bad, but it's manageable. So, because what's gonna happen now is the boss will always use Meteor. And Meteor is kind of annoying. The boss will also dispel us, which also is super annoying, but I will get around the dispel, especially on the Ardens, by using Elric Brothers attack boost. Alright, here's the def attack, that is the 75% threshold, the dispel as you've seen, and here it is, the Meteor. We are lucky the boss used fire. The fire on Vinera, she does not care one bit. Okay, so let's do Soul Transmutation. We also need to get rid of the boss's Mirage stacks. So let's tag chain a bit. The Elric Brothers are going to take a significant amount of damage, but as you've seen, they are geared for a lot of HP and defense and spirit, so they should be fine. Alright, so we are preparing this very turn, so my Arden can actually only shift back and just guard, so he takes less damage. Now I will use the modifier boosts on the friend unit so we can deal more damage. And we'll have Ash just reload Dusk Shard, Mist Barrier, which is a damage reduction, 65%, which is good, so she doesn't randomly die on us. And let's do wind damage to the boss, which is required for the mission anyway. Alright, so nobody should die. The Eric brothers, they are pretty tanky in their form. Alright, Flare again, perfect. And here comes the Meteor. But that one should not hit us as badly. Great. Alright, we're gonna shift the Elric brothers now. We will use equivalent exchange. Equivalent exchange. Do I have the LB ready? No, I don't, sadly. It'd be so good to have the LB ready, but it's fine. Yeah, water exchange. We need to imbue ourselves with water. And let's just tag chain a bit. Venera is going to break the boss, Marauders, and double snipe. Let's do this, let's do that. Alright. And both Ardens will now jump. And technically speaking, this should demolish this boss. So let's do this. I was not able to click the friend Arden. Yeah, he has less attack, so his attack broken. Oh, that's why. That's why. I could have dispelled the friend Arden then. But I don't have the space to do that, do I? Or I could have done this. Oh, okay, I see. If I don't destroy the boss on this turn, I know what I'll have to do on the next attempt. And let's do whatever. Okay. So let's hope the Auric brothers and Venera survive. If they do, we'll be Gucci. Hopefully. It's Tornado, that's good. Here comes the Meteor. Oh, the Erics will always survive. I forgot about that. They got... in any case, they do have... guts. So, triple SR. I can't even do that good, triple SR. So this is me going all in pretty much. Last turn of Sword in Peril as well. Is this 90% breaks? I don't think it is. So let's do this. No. And to line up the attacks, I will do this and double SR. So we'll have to wait a second to actually deal the damage. We'll line this up perfectly. And that's... Alright, done! 6 turns. We did it. Ooh, that was brute forcing to the max. Wow, it actually worked. Oh boy, this strat is so stupid, but it works. Alright, we're done with this trial. Okay, that worked. That's funny. And we did all missions, 6 turns, all missions. Oh boy, is this stupid. That was literally brute forcing a trial. I've never seen anything like this. Well, I know this might not be the easiest trial to replicate or the easiest clear to replicate, but I had fun doing it. I really wanted to try this out, whether this is possible. Turns out it is. So if you have Arden, well, go for this strat, especially if you have a friend Arden. My Arden, by the way, is exactly geared as my personal Arden that I used, so he's perfectly geared towards this fight. If you have him, go for that strat. Now there is another strat. Let me just quickly show you the other way you can do this fight. So you would use a Zidane. Now don't take the Zidane for granted right now. This is just an example of Zidane. Alright, and the other way to do this is this very team. Is it possible? Yes, it should be. And the way you do this is very, very similar. However, there is one issue at hand, and that is imbues, right? So you either take a Zidane friend, or if you want to go the very, very safe route and just clear this boss, you take no friend and substitute in either Beatrix. I would personally use Beatrix because she can LB fill a little bit more easily in her Brave shift, if I'm not entirely mistaken. Yes, she can, with Absolute Saber, she can fill LB gauge, which is quite handy for Zidane. So you can use her, and this fight is becoming a huge joke in the process as well. You probably won't be able to defeat the boss in 8 turns, but this should be the easiest one. Your whole team will take literally 0 damage because Beatrix will cover all the attacks. She will cover the Meteor, she will cover the Element attacks, she will cover Ultima. So it's just pretty much stalling the fight out. And if you don't have Zidane, don't sweat it. You can use Arden, like I said. You can use last gen, for example. They can be imbued. Any Capper is pretty much fine. And if you don't care about the 5-man mission, just use 2 Zidane, just use 2 Ardens, what's his name? Last gen works too. So it's going to be fine nonetheless. Alright, I hope this guide helped you guys. It was fun for me, super fun to be honest. And yeah, we'll see each other for the Chronicle Battles video in a few. Bye bye.